Welcome to Knock Survives. The best news to ever happen to UK theme parks has happened. Universal Great Britain is coming to the UK. And am I excited? Nah. I am hitting the roof. I've been studying the concept art for the last week. I've been going through Universal parks around the world. And I've also been watching all kinds of YouTubers give their opinions on what they think is coming to the park. And now I've put it all together. I've worked out what really could be happening, what rides are coming, what lands we're getting, and I'm going to throw in a huge secret that no one's talking about. Why isn't anyone talking about this? So wait to the end to find out about that, because this is huge. This isn't just to try and get you to stick around. Well, it is to try and get you to stick around to the end, but it's going to be massive. Don't skip to the end and find out. Watch the whole video and you'll find out what it is. But I'm starting straight off with this map. I'm showing you what lands I think is here, what IPs we're going to get around the park, and then we're going to go straight into this. We're going to go deep diving, looking at each individual rides. We're looking at where we can get restaurants, shops, shows. We're looking at everything here, not just the lands. The lands everyone's got, I think. 90% of the lands are sussed. There's a few unsureties, of course. I think most people have got what IPs and what lands are coming to this park, but let's look at things more closely and get a real good look at what's going on here. So, without further ado, but before we go on, this video has taken me hours to make, so if you could spend a couple of seconds just to hit that like button, gently, don't break it, I would really appreciate it. Thank you. Now let's move on. So let's not mess around, let's deep dive into this. This is the best I could find for high definition. So we can do some zooming. We can do some nice zooming here. And we can get a good look at some things that are around. So instead of starting at the front, which is where everyone starts, we're going to end up there. We're going to end up around the front. But let's start over this side, over here. We've heard DreamWorks, but no, this is Paddington, 100%. We've got a play area, kind of like a fun activities area. I hope it's going to be very interactive. Obviously, a honey pot in the middle. We have a balloons ride, probably themed to umbrellas, as Paddington has an umbrella, of course. After all, this is the UK. You could imagine a bit of theming with the umbrellas, maybe Paddington hanging onto the umbrella. Would be quite fun. And then we have teacups ride. Paddington loves his afternoon tea. I would hope they put this undercover, put a cover on this. British weather is awful and you don't want to fill the teacups up with rainwater. As you see, this path goes in a nice big circle all the way round to this show building here. What's this show building? It's quite small. If it's a dark ride, it's a small dark ride. I would imagine that's what the case is. A small dark ride. I would imagine there's a meet and greet somewhere, meet and greet Paddington, somewhere around here. Might have a little fountain here by the looks of it. Let's zoom in a bit more. What do you think? Fountain? If you're a Paddington fan and you can think of theming that can fit in this area, I'd love to know. As I think I've only seen the first Paddington movie myself. I will be watching all of these movies over the next few months. But one of the movies I have seen is definitely this one. I think we're all in agreement here. This is Back to the Future roller coaster with a Hill Valley town square. We'll look at the roller coaster in a minute. We'll zoom into the Hill Valley square. First, I want to draw your attention to this amphitheatre or Hollywood Bowl style theatre, outdoor theatre. I think it's separate. This is not part of this area. I can imagine concerts and shows on here. It'll be lovely during the hot months. Anyway, back to how do we know this is Hill Valley? I think this is Cafe 80s. It's green. Cafe 80s is green. But this is definitely Hill Valley. Yes, I've left out the little clock tower. But this building looks exactly like it. And if you look at images of around Hill Valley, this is definitely a standout bit of theming around Hill Valley. This is in the perfect place. And this here is probably the cinema complex you see at the end, where the DeLorean would go back in time. This is going to be a really lovely immersive area. But let's look at the roller coaster. This is a crazy beast of a coaster. It's tall, It's going to have to be tall. If you're going to do a Back to the Future roller coaster, you need to have it going at 88 miles an hour, don't you? It has to be 88 miles an hour roller coaster. So you have multiple launches. You have 2 switch tracks. So let's look at how this roller coaster is going to go. The green track is going forward and the red track will be going backwards. From the station, we move into a pre-show and then into the launch, heading 88 miles an hour, up the spike, back down the spike, backwards, over this huge inversion, back up another spike, into forward again, round the pretzel loop, over the track, and back into another show at the end and into the station. Reasonably short coaster, but cool, this is going to be great. And it's going to be quite intense as well, especially with that backwards inversion. Queue line in here, maybe a massive enchantment under the sea dance. Queue line would be nice. There's the first ever Back to the Future roller coaster. Unbelievable. I think this is going to be a huge draw to the park. It's not the longest coaster, but it's big and it's going to be fast. It'll be the fastest and the tallest, possibly. I would imagine this spike is probably goes up to 300 foot, maybe around 250, 270 foot. This does break UK's record. We have the tallest and fastest coaster in the UK. Sorry, Hyperia. So let's move into the Jurassic World area. It's here, definitely Hammond's restaurant, 100%. And then over here we have, let's zoom in a bit more. And then over here, I'm guessing this will be a gift shop and exit for whatever this massive thing is. We'll talk about that in a second, but I think this will be like an adventure play area, like a treetops adventure play area. I mean, a lot of these things are in other Universals already. These two here will be like the Doctor Doom towers in Islands of Adventure, shooting you out of what looks like a couple of paddocks. That'll be really interesting. I wonder if they're going to put any theming inside. Maybe dinosaurs coming at you. To this beautiful, oh my goodness, this is going to be gorgeous. These water fountains with a path going around there, a bridge going around there, this path going out. You're just going to get beautiful views around here. It's going to be so nice. Okay, let's go to this absolutely massive building, the biggest building they have here. So this is a dinosaur dark ride where you'll be on a moving car. And this one in Beijing, the Jurassic World Adventure, is what many people consider the best dark ride in the world. Yes, people say Rise of the Resistance, but the people that have done both say that this is the best. With absolutely huge animatronics, this ride is going to stun. So we may have the best dark ride in the world coming to the UK. How exciting is that? If not the best, it'll be in the top 5. We're going to have one of the best dark rides in the world. It's something that the UK desperately needs, is more dark rides. And Universal is going to give them to us in an absolute flurry. Moving on to indoor things, let's look at these 3 buildings here. Let's start with this one, because this is gorgeous here. Look, we've got some little walk through here. I guess this is all going to be dinosaurs around, maybe seating. This will be just a beautiful walk through. You can go and just enjoy the atmosphere. Maybe go and eat a spot of lunch, what have you. Talking about lunch, I would expect this to be another restaurant. I would love to see a buffet restaurant in here. I'm hoping this could be a big buffet restaurant, maybe a shop on the corner, something like that. And then over here, this is an attraction. Look at the size of that entrance. I don't know what it is. It's not quite big enough for a dark ride, and I don't think they'll put a dark ride in here. But I would say this is some sort of activities thing here. Maybe, discover your dinosaurs activities, extract something from some DNA from amber, the science behind it, but made into a fun experience. That's what I would expect from here. You've got this beautiful facade that's going to be very Jurassic World-y. An attraction, but not a ride. Over here, what is this? I still am struggling with this building here. A big show building, a big enough show building to do something with. Could we get a dark ride in there? Is it still part of the Jurassic World theme? I think it is. The paths haven't changed colour. The vibe seems the same. I think this is still Jurassic World. I don't know what this is though. Could be a kiddie coaster in there for all we know. Or we could have another flat ride in here. Could be all sorts. But I think that's a ride. Comment below. What do you think could be in this building? Everyone seems to think this is part of the Jurassic World. But look at this theming as you go. This is bright and colourful. Walking around here. Beautiful, beautiful. Lots of water. Lots of nice palm trees, and then it suddenly changes, this theming up here. Like, see how it goes from light to all this dark theming, and even look, this is a castle. We can see this. Over here, there's some sort of theming as well, and this coaster. The first person I heard saying this, and not many people have picked up on it, I heard Jack Silkstone say it was wicked, and the colour of this track is just the right green, exact shade of green you need. We have a wicked defying gravity coaster. And this looks like it could be the maybe University from Wicked, but just as theming, who knows? It's right on the edge, so it could be shops and that as well. This is the brake run. It's a big brake run, so it's going to be a fast coaster. I would imagine this is a launch again, and not a drop. And let's try. I've tried to work out the route of this thing. A weird thing is, there's some points that looks like it's just one track. It looks like we've got another split track section. And it's big. It's going to be long. Is it the longest in the UK? I think it's going to be longest in the UK. Since the Ultimate closed in Lightwater Valley, I think this is definitely going to be the longest roller coaster in the UK. I can't think of another really long coaster short of Scenic Railways. Even Megaphobia's gone now. Maybe a couple of the Woodies might be long, but I'm pretty sure this will be the longest. Absolutely amazing. If that's a launch, that is going to fly through there. But you know what roller coaster I think it is? It looks like a single track. Let's see how that wraps around the track. I think this is a single rail launch coaster. You might get one or two inversions in here, but I'm not even sure you'll have that. It's going to be a fast single rail long coaster. Wonderful. Over here, this looks like Waterworld. I thought it was Waterworld. People started saying it's a James Bond stunt show, and I'm going with that. It's a James Bond stunt show. Yes, it looks like Waterworld. It is, post-apocalyptic theming, even down to the entrance here, which looks very similar to the one in Beijing again. I will keep referencing Beijing because this park is very similar to Beijing, as in what rides it has, not the layout, but what rides it has. And that's what Universal do. They like to reuse their rides. I mean, it saves on designing a new one, doesn't it? If that property is still very popular, then why not use it again? I'm not going to go to Beijing in a hurry to try and ride these rides. If you are going to go around the world doing these rides, you're not going to care it's the same ride. I think they have said there's not going to be any carbon copies, no clones, and this is definitely a clone. So I think they're just going to change this to a James Bond one eventually. I probably didn't want to give it away because that was going to be a surprise, but I would say either London themed around the outside, or MI5 is he, or MI6? I don't know. But that kind of building here. Now over here, many people are saying this is the Lord of the Rings area because it has been reported that Lord of the Rings is coming here. I originally thought, this is Lord of the Rings. This is going to go in as Prancing Pony, perhaps a Fellowship of the Rings dark ride coming out to here. Maybe Mines of Moria. They could put some mountains around here. This could be the Mines of Moria. Big entrance here into the mountains. I could see that. But I think if they're going to do a Lord of the Rings area, it needs to be full on. It needs to be an amazing area. It needs to be Harry Potter size area. It really does. There is some amazing theming in the movies. And if Universal does do a Lord of the Rings themed area, then it needs to be spectacular. And this is not the size area for a spectacular Lord of the Rings area. I don't think it is, because many people have been saying this looks like the poison apple in Shrek. And that would make a lot of sense. This looks like a swamp, doesn't it, around here? It's very swampy. I think the artist has done really well with the colouring of the trees and the paths to dictate where things are and where the themes are. You can see exactly where it is, and not a Lord of the Rings area. Once I realised this is definitely the poison apple, then yeah, we've got a Shrek dark ride. Restaurant? Nah, I don't think so. If it's restaurant, they'd want people looking out, but this looks like you got trees all around to hide the show building. This isn't a restaurant, this is a ride. And then we got this, pretty much the only thing with no theming on it that's standing on its own. What is it? If that's Shrek, what could this be? Have you seen Kung Fu Panda in Universal Beijing? It is an absolutely huge indoor dark area. It's basically an indoor theme park, basically. You've got a dark ride in there. You've got various smaller rides, flat rides in there. I think even a show, shops, food. So this whole area, beautifully themed inside. Because it's all indoors. You can do whatever you want. And I think that's what they're going to do. Whether it's Kung Fu Panda they're going to stick with. Maybe people are talking about Trolls. Or How to Train Your Dragon. There's loads of properties from DreamWorks that could go in there. I thought there could be Universal Monsters or the Dark Universe style thing going in there, because that's something I really wanted. But I had to stop thinking about what I wanted to come to this park and think about what I can see in front of me in the concept art and look at the other rides that they're already using in other parks. So if you look at other parks, you could probably see what's coming here. Other than a few brand new things like the Back to the Future. But I think we are going to get similar, not copies, not clones, but similar rides to other parks. And that's probably the best place we can find the sort of things that's going in here. So now we move on to this area over here. Probably the most guaranteed area next to Jurassic World. It was originally reported Jurassic World and Minions were the major areas. So this looks like a Minions area.
Luca! Bueno! Piñu! Bueno! Piñu! Minions! Lore Piñu! Piñu!
We have a Despicable Me dark ride here. Over here we have the Sing Sleigh. Let me get it out. The Sing Stage Show. This is almost identical to the Beijing one. Over here, this is going to be a food mall. So all around here is almost identical to the Beijing again. Here's a picture. You can see this has the Beijing one has the roller coaster around the top. It's a different roller coaster. You can see the similarities. It's so similar that it's similar. You can see it's bigger. It's probably about that much bigger and wider. So you can get more in there. I think they're going to put another coaster in there. Unless this is going to be a real coaster on top. So maybe that is a station. This could be actually a real roller coaster and not theming. Or it could be inside. But I would expect some sort of coaster here with other rides inside. Probably 2 rides inside and a coaster, or a coaster outside and 3 or 4 rides inside. Beautiful open area, very nice. Anything else I'm missing? I'm loving this sort of areas. Look, we've just got, I think it's just theming, somewhere to go, hang out. I love that I've got all these sort of things, especially all around. Yeah, another hangout spot. Not really anything there, just a lovely themed hangout spot. Now we get into this here. 100% this is a Jaws or Amity restaurant. Normally they would have the shark hanging up out here. And you come and take your pictures, you know. You've all seen that big shark hanging out. Some images show this as being really blurred. In fact, purposely blurred out. I think I've got one that's not blurred out because this is obvious. This is the shark, and then the structure that holds the shark up. This is the hanging shark people love to come and take a picture with. And we got a big path around here to this building. Now let's do these two together. Look. This big show building, I have gone backwards and forwards thinking, is it access to here for a show? Because this looks like a theatre. This could be access to a show. That's a long old way through to go through to a show, isn't it? I'm struggling. I think a smaller show that goes in here, this building here. I don't think this is big lights, the big lights camera action show. I think this is Jaws. I think Jaws goes down here. I think we've got an indoor Jaws ride. They're bringing it up to date. They're going to have a really high-tech Jaws ride. I can't see why they would have this big bit here and here walkway, huge in fact, just for, you know, just a small little show building. It's not even big. It's just too small. Is this attached to here? What do you think, guys? Is this attached to here? Or is this attached to here? I'm struggling. I think it's attached to here. And we've got Jaws, an indoor Jaws ride. And that brings us to this lovely Hollywood Boulevard. But what we got? We're deep diving. So what we got? I would imagine around here, shops, restaurants, shop, VIP experience area, toilets. Back up at the top we have the hotel. There's a big hotel showing the entrance to the hotel around the back, and then you got probably another restaurant in there. So we've got this huge building here. What's this all about? I thought this is probably just an additional thing that they've chucked in, but nothing here is just chucked in, is it? And we'll talk about more about things not being chucked in. There's no real back of house anywhere. They're not showing staff areas or anything like that, which they don't tend to do on concept art. Why would you want to show back of house? And why would you want to put a back of house building right at the front of your park? That would be crazy, wouldn't it? So I think this here is a show, and I think it'll be the lights, camera, action show. We've got a big path going around here to the side. You see, all goes all the way around there. That's not even to this entrance. So I'm thinking an entrance around here to the show, and we'll have the Spielberg lights, camera, action show in there, and this here, and then we got possibly, I would say this is another restaurant here. Maybe even customer services or what have you. But yeah, this is beautiful, this is. But yeah, restaurant, this is massive. Absolutely huge. Look at the people compared to that. That is absolutely huge. You're going to get some amazing pictures there. And there we go. We did it. That's the park. All the rides examined. There is a lack of adult flat rides around. I don't know if they're going to add them or not. I'm not too interested. We don't really do flat rides too much in this country. That's it. Oh, hang on. Didn't I say I was going to talk about an area that people have missed? And no, it's not this area here. It has been reported that Lord of the Rings is coming to the park, because there is a mission of Harry Potter. We would have loved Harry Potter at this park, maybe in the future. I don't think Lord of the Rings is coming to either of these areas. We've got two areas that is room for expansion. I don't think Lord of the Rings is coming to either of those, because there's another area that's been missed. So why is no one talking about this area here? We've got a big path, about the same size that's going around the park. This doesn't look any different. So this is going to come down here. Is it for the hotel? I don't think so. This doesn't join to here. It's a different colour. As I said earlier, the artist is very good at making the paths and the scenery different from when it changes areas. And here it is. This is a very blurred area, but we have buildings. This one here, and look at this path. So this is why I think this area is included. Yes, we've got a couple of buildings here, but look at this. Why would they, if this is service road, why would they even put that in the middle, like a island in the middle? I think this whole area here is Hobbit Town, or Hobbiton. For back of house, you don't do pretty little areas. You got a little path around here. Why isn't this just joined at the shortest point? Because there's theming there, of course. It's very hidden and secretive, but I think this is the area that they want to keep secret. This is the big area. This is the one that is going to stand out. And so the Hobbit area, and then I think over here we either get Mines of Moria, we get Mordor, but I think over here is going to be a mountain range. And this is all part of the park. There was no gate here, the back of here. So there's my opinion. If you want it, we have our Lord of the Rings area. I know it's because it's not bright or anything, people are just ignoring it, and it's not round the lake. If this area wasn't part of the theme park, then why did they draw it in? They're not drawing in service roads and things like that. So why did they do that if it's not part of the area? This is an area they're trying to keep secret. And of course it's the biggest area they're going to have here. It's the most themed area. It is Lord of the Rings. Oh yes. Because there's no Harry Potter, we need something big like this. So that's it for me. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you think my ideas are pretty accurate. I think most of them are. I think I am 90% accurate. I know the Lord of the Rings area is a push, but I had to find where to put it. Unless they're going to put it in one of these areas. But why would they do that if they've already drawn in an area? And I also think these two areas are earmarked for future expansion. It's been reported that Harry Potter and Nintendo World are wanting to come for the expansion, and I think that's where these two areas are going to be. If you like my Universal Great Britain content, if you're looking forward to it even half as much as me, make sure you subscribe, because when this construction starts, I'm taking a drone. I'll be there once a month to watch all the construction happening, and if anything big happens, then I will be down there. With the exemption of Pleasurewood Hills, it'll be the closest theme park to me, which is amazing. I haven't got to travel 6 hours there and back to get to a theme park anymore. That was going to be lovely. I will be bringing out monthly content. I will have a regular monthly show about the progress. So as soon as proper construction commences next year, I will be going down once a month to talk about anything new, any changes, what's been happening, what's going on. I will give you updates every month, and follow my TikTok, Instagram for pictures, updates, anything newsworthy I will be putting on my Instagram. All my little TikToks, all my short forms will go on TikTok. So follow me across social medias, and don't forget to subscribe here, hitting that notification bell so you'll know whenever I upload a video that interests you. I can't believe this has been happening. Many content creators have been holding off talking about this, posting a video about this, about Universal coming to UK, because we don't want to jinx it. But now it's been confirmed. Keir Starmer looked almost as happy as I am. Almost. This is all getting the go-ahead. So let me know your thoughts. I'd love to know. I usually ask people to comment to help with the algorithm and engagement, but I really would like to know what your thoughts are. Have I changed your mind? Or perhaps you could change mine. But please put in the comments your thoughts on what's coming to Universal Great Britain. Let's keep this discussion open. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.